Okay, so we're going to demonstrate how to do the show me questions in my Mini Cooper. So we'll start off with the windscreen ones. Nice and simple in this vehicle, all on the same stock. So the examiner will start off by saying, when it's safe to do so, I would like you to show me how to wash and clean the front windscreen. So in my car, using the right stalk, get your hand behind it and pull the stalk towards you, just like so. So when you're washing and cleaning the front windscreen, as soon as you see the window wipers start to move, you can let go of the stalk, so you no longer need to pull it once you see the wipers move. So you see, as soon as the wipers start to move, I can let go then, because it's doing its job. So yeah, so it's wash and clean the front windscreen, and that is pull the right stalk towards you. Okay, so the next one is, I would like you to show me how to wash and clean the rear window. So the rear window is on the end of the right stalk, and you'll notice that there's some writing on it. So it actually says off and on, and then you've got some little symbols as well, that the wash the rear window symbol. So you see some little water jets, and then a little picture of obviously the outer window edge, and then like a wiper blade. So to use this, simply all you need to do is twist it towards you, and then again, like the front windscreen, as soon as you see that start to move and you've seen the water jets on the windscreen, quick glance in the rearview mirror, don't stare at it. Once you've seen that it's doing its job, you can then let go, and it will spring back to the off position. So just to demonstrate that again, and it springs itself back. I'm not twisting that, it's spring loaded, so it springs back. The other way is to twist it 2 notches away from you. Now you can do that, however, if you do let go this time by using the away option, it springs itself to the on position. So just bear that in mind. That's why I find it easier to twist it towards you, assuming you haven't got the rear wiper on because it's raining. I would assume though, however, if you did have the rear wiper on because it's raining, you probably wouldn't need to wash it because it would be cleaning itself. So easiest option, twist towards you, let go, and it'll spring itself back to off. Okay, so now we're going to look at how to do the side windows. So the examiner would say to you, when it's safe to do so, I would like to demonstrate how to put down one of the side windows, then back up again. You can choose any window you like, so just remember they're laid out in terms of switches to which the windows are on the car. So obviously this one would operate the front left, that one would operate the front right, the bottom left would do the back left window, and the bottom right would do the back right window. So they all correspond to where the windows are on the car. So I always opt to do maybe the back one if you don't want yourself to be windswept. You can do the examiner's one. I just think it's a bit more courteous if you don't, so that if you are doing it at higher speeds, they don't get windswept either. So if it was me, I would use one of the rear ones personally, or you could do your own window. You can do the examiner's one, nobody says you can't. I just think it's a bit courteous to not do that. So let's go with the front right then for the driver's side. So I'm going to firmly push it down and then let go as soon as I hear the window start to move. That's going to use the automatic mode. And then the same again to lift it back up. So I firmly pull it up, but I'm going to quickly let go to use the automatic mode. You can press and hold it, but I just think if you can do the automatic side, then it's safer because you can get that hand back on the steering wheel. So if it was me, I would go for the firm press down, quick release, hand back on the steering wheel. Then once it's finished, when I'm happy again to put it back up, there can be a pause in this if you need to for safety, and then obviously when you are ready, pop it back up. So remember, the examiner is saying when it's safe to do so, so it's always at your discretion to do it when it is safe. Okay, so the next one will be the demisters. So the examiner will say when it's safe to do so, I'd like you to show me how to demist the front windscreen. So for the front windscreen, we're looking for the symbol that's got the picture of the front windscreen. You'll notice that from the front and the rear demister, the front one actually looks more tapered at the sides and more rounded at the top on the symbol. So it's to try and resemble the shape of a front windscreen. You'll notice front windscreens are usually, they're not so much in the Mini, but in most cars it's usually more angled and more rounded, to give you a bit bigger view from the front, and the back one's normally more rectangular. So you can see the difference with the shapes of the two symbols. And you'll notice that the front one, they've still got the lines going upwards, but obviously it says max above it. The reason it says max is because it uses blowers to divert air to the front window and the side windows, and it's warm air. It's usually warm air that you need to demist the window. So once I push the button, it's going to start making a noise. That's all the blowers kicking in. So again, divert it into the front windscreen and the side windows, and then once you finish, just turn it off again. And it's as simple as that for the front one. So literally it's push the button on that says max, so that's the front windscreen. Push it again once you've finished to turn it off. For the rear window, it has lines on the rear window, so it doesn't use blowers to actually demist it. It uses heat in terms of heater elements. That's why you see the small lines in the rear window. So once I push the button, it's not going to make a blower noise this time. Sometimes on some vehicles you can hear a little click as it's powering up the heater element, but in this car it's barely noticeable at all unless you really know what you're listening for. But the main thing is that you see the light on, then you know the heater element's on, and then obviously if it is misted, you'll notice it demist. If it's just a show me, then naturally you won't really see any visible difference anyway. It'll just be the orange light that illuminates to indicate that it's on. Obviously it deluminates once it's off. So again, the phraseology for that would be, when it's safe to do so, I'd like you to show me how to demist the rear window. Okay, so the next one's going to go over the headlights. So the examiner would say, when it's safe to do so, I would like to show me how to put on the dipped beam headlights. And then obviously you would turn them off again once you've done that as well. So it's just in front of your right knee on this vehicle, so it's quite low down. So you see in terms of relation to the dashboard, it's much lower down. And you're going to use the chrome switch here, and you're going to turn it all the way to the right, which is the dipped beam symbol. You'll see it's got a headlight symbol there, so that will put on the dipped beam headlights, and then to turn them off again, turn it as far left as it goes. That's actually the automatic symbol. The zero there actually indicates off, but you're okay to twist far left to the automatic mode because this car's got automatic headlights and they will switch off in good daylight anyway, so it's just pretty much the same thing in good daylight. So all the way to the right as far as it will go for the dip beam, and all the way far left as far as it will go, and that's good enough for turning them off if it's good daylight. I'm just going to show you what the symbol looks like on the dashboard. So we can see we have the dip beam symbol, which is located on the rev gauge, and I'll show you the differences with those when we turn that off. You see it actually takes off all the dashboard lights as well to illuminate that if you was driving at night. Just to tag onto this next part isn't a show me question. All you would be asked is to do what I've just shown you, put on the dip beam headlights, then turn them off again. But whilst we're on the subject of light, I think it's a good learning point, because this is one of your tell me questions where they'll ask you how to put on the full beam headlights and how you'd know the difference between the dip beam and the full beam. The full beam in this car, you have to push the left stalk away from you. What happens is when I do that, so I'm just going to pull it towards me again to turn them off, but you'll notice a further blue symbol appears here. Now on some cars it takes off the green symbol and just puts the blue one on. In mine it leads on both, but the main point is that you see the blue symbol and that indicates you've got your full beam lights on. Obviously important not to drive around in the day with those on, because it does obviously blind people. It's quite dazzling. So obviously it doesn't literally blind you, but obviously it distorts your vision because it's quite dazzling when you've got headlights coming towards you on full beam. So this should hopefully help you explain that tell me question should you get that one. So the answer would be, I would firstly put on the dip beam headlights, make sure I see the green symbol, and then I would engage the full beam mode by pushing forward on the stalk. You don't have to explain that bit, he just wants to know you know the difference. So you can just I'd put on the full beam switch and I should see a blue symbol. So again, not relevant for the show me, but it's worth adding into this little video because it helps people understand a little bit better, I think, when you actually see the differences. So just to recap again, just for the show me, because it is mainly about show me, to put on the dip beam headlight, twist as far right as it will possibly go, and switch off, twist as far left as it will possibly go. Okay, so the next one we have is the horn. So the examiner would say, when it's safe to do so, I would like to show me how to operate the horn. Now the examiner is fully expecting you to use the horn. Again, try and look for a gap between cars, just so that you don't startle anybody. I'm not going to do it for real because of where I'm parked at the moment, but I can simulate how you would use it. So you would drive down the road, hands on the wheel. Also, you take your right or left hand, whichever you prefer, which is most comfortable for you, and simply push the center of the steering wheel inwards, as if you was pushing a large button. You'll feel some resistance, push it, and obviously naturally you want to hear the horn operate. If you don't hear the horn operate, then you've not pushed it firm enough, so you just need to push it a bit harder. And it's as simple as that.